So, since we are in October and Halloween is right around the corner, I wanted to talk about some of the scariest monsters from Norse folklore. From giant snakes and squids to nightmare inducing creatures. Here are the scariest creatures from Norse folklore. Jörmungander is a giant serpent that is said to be so large that it wraps around the entire world. On top of that, it has the world's strongest venom. The serpent is a son of the Norse god of mischief, Loki. When Ragnarok comes, Thor will kill the world serpent. When he does this, all of the serpent's venom will be thrown up and hit Thor. This will lead to his demise. Draugr. In ancient Norse myth, Draugr are reanimated corpses of dead warriors. Draugr are created when a person was full of greed during his life. This is why they are most commonly seen guarding treasures or burial mounds. In ancient Nordic times, runestones would be made for people that were exceptionally greedy, to ensure that they wouldn't rise from their burial mounds and haunt the living. Draugr also have the ability to shapeshift into different animals. Kraken. You have probably heard about the Kraken before, but did you know that the legend about this gigantic cephalopod originate from Norse folklore? More specifically, the beast is said to live off of the coast of Norway. The Kraken is said to attack and crush ships and drag people to the bottom of the sea. The legend of the Kraken most likely originated from sightings of the giant squid, which is a real squid that can reach up to 13 meters long. It also lives in the Atlantic Sea, so the Vikings most likely came across one of them when traveling from Iceland to Norway. Nøkken. Known as Nøkken in Danish and Norwegian and Nickan in Swedish, this monster is described as an evil spirit living in the water. In Norwegian folklore, Nøkken is described as a shapeshifter. It often turns into logs, rocks, or horses. Nøkken will sometimes turn into a white horse, and it will try to lure you in to ride it. If you ride it, it will drag you to the bottom of the lake and drown you. This version of Nøkken is very similar to the Irish legend of the Kelpie. The Kelpie is also a horse that will lure you in so he can drag you to the bottom of the lake and drown you. In Swedish folklore, Nickan is often seen in the shape of a man playing an instrument so beautifully that you have to approach. If you approach him, he will drown you. And lastly, in Denmark, Nøkken is also known as Omen. This version of the creature is invisible, and it is said that when there's gone a long time since somebody has drowned, Omen will appear and drown somebody. He is also said to live in Odense Å, which is a river leading to the city of Odense. As you might be able to tell, Nøkken is my favorite of these creatures. Mosekonen. In Danish folklore, Mosekonen is an old evil witch that lives in the bog. Sometimes when the fog is laying close to the ground, it is said that Mosekonen brygger, which means that the witch is brewing. Trolls. A troll or troll in Danish is an evil creature from Norse folklore. Trolls are often described as being giant, clumsy, and ugly humanoid creatures. However, sometimes they just look like regular people. In Norse mythology, trolls are also called jötnar or jætter. Some of the scariest among these are Surd, who is a giant made out of fire and heat. Udgårdsloke, a giant who is a master of trickery, so good that he could deceive Loki, the god of mischief. And Fenrir, a giant wolf that is destined to kill Odin, the leader of the gods. One very interesting thing about trolls is that even after the Christianization of Scandinavia, the people still believed in them. The mare. Mare are creatures from Germanic and Scandinavian folklore that sneak into houses and sit on top of people's chests, causing them to have nightmares or sleep paralysis. The mare is known to spend most of the day riding around on horses. The Norwegian and Danish words for nightmare are marit or merride. The Swedish word for nightmare is mardrøm, meaning mere dream. In Ynglinge saga, which is an old Norse saga of early Swedish kings, King Vanalandi is killed by a mare. That is it for today's video. If you want to hear about the Norse myth of Ragnarok, then click on the screen right now.